we take a look at the top 10 smallest aircraft in the world. At number 10, the ellipta plume. The smallest single-seater helium airship flies in style, and it's also all-electric. The airship has several lithium polymer batteries which drive its 2 electric motors, and ultimately moves the ship forward. But there will probably be no other records broken, as the airship can only go 15 miles per hour and just over 3,000 feet. It also has a loading capacity of over 2,000 pounds, so it's best to attach some extra balloons if you want to carry some extra luggage. At number 9, the Gen H4. Strap yourself into a chair with a mounted rotor over top and you basically have the H4. Thanks to some fearless Japanese creators, it also set a record as the smallest helicopter ever built. It only weighs 154 pounds empty, and it's also powered by 4 miniature air-cooled engines. The Gen 4 is really fast and it can go over 124 miles per hour, but unfortunately production was suspended a few years back due to financial shortfall. But I'm sure somebody will copy this build and make their own kamikaze machine. At number 8, the Benson B-8. I really like this flying contraption. It's also known as the gyrocopter. It's cheap, built on a 50-year-old design, and it's really stable. There are quite a few variants of the B-8, but the Dragonfly is definitely one of the smallest gyrocopters out there. The one being depicted in this video was built by Wartown, and he's also built some other very impressive flying aircraft, which I'll get to shortly. Then there's the enclosed Cavalon, which is available for around 60 grand, and it's actually one of the cheapest ready-to-fly aircrafts in the world. It has a range of over 500 miles, and it can also zip through the sky at just under 100 miles per hour. So ultimately, we'll probably never see this aircraft go away, and it's probably one of the cheapest ways in learning how to fly with your own machine. At number 7, the CMC Leopard. The smallest passenger jet ever built, was created in the 1980s but later abandoned. And unfortunately, there were only 2 prototypes built. The Leopard carries 2 jet engines which only produce 700 pounds of thrust each, but can audibly climb to 45,000 feet. It could carry 1 pilot, 3 passengers, and a maximum weight of 4,000 pounds. The second jet built was an improved version, and it incorporated a pressurized cabin and an improved airframe. But as of now, both prototypes are now sitting at museums. At number 6, the Mosquito helicopter. One of the smallest helicopters on the market, is also one of the cheapest with a price tag of around 50 grand. There are several variants of the Mosquito, but they can all fly for over an hour. The helicopter also comes with advanced avionics including maps, terrain awareness, and even traffic monitoring, so you can laugh at your neighbors when they're in a traffic jam. It depends on where you live, but there are a few variants of the Mosquito which do not even require a license to fly. So basically, with a little bit of training, you can jump in and fly the Mosquito helicopter. At number 5, the tiny Bumblebee. Robert Starr has probably set a world record which will never be broken. The Bumblebee made its debut in 1988 as the smallest piloted aircraft in the world, and it also crashed on the same day. Luckily, Robert came out alive and has fully recovered since then. I think I've seen bigger RC aircrafts out there than this flying coffin, as it only weighs 400 pounds and has a 5-foot wingspan. But the Bumblebee is also quite fast, and it can go 190 miles per hour and climb to 14,000 feet. But I would probably be carrying a parachute before taking the mini plane to the air. At number 4, the XF85 Goblin. The XF85 was a prototype designed near the end of World War II, and it was a fighter aircraft which was built to fit inside a B-36 bomber airplane. Otherwise known as a parasite fighter, it was made for defending the B-36 from other aircraft, but unfortunately the Goblin's design proved to be very challenging, and it was inferior to other jet fighters. The Goblin also had problems docking inside the bomber's bay, so only 2 aircrafts were ever built, and the project was eventually cancelled. At number 3, the CryCry. The smallest twin-engine manned aircraft looks like something out of the Jetsons. It was first created by Michael Columbin, and it's a solid design which has held the record for over 40 years. It can perform some really remarkable maneuvers, and it's one of the quickest mini aircrafts out there. Today there are quite a few variants of the CryCry, with one even being fully electric and powered by lithium batteries. And if you ever see one, you might mistake it for being an RC plane, but it's certainly one of the safest mini aircrafts to fly in the sky. At number 2, the Flyboard Air. Now this is a flying machine which I think most of us want to try out. Composed of 4 powerful turbojets, the Flyboard Air works like a levitating surfboard. It has a built-in stabilization logic board similar to a drone, but it also requires hours of training to control the overpowering 1,000 horsepower machine. Unfortunately, there is only one Flyboard Air, and even that one only flies over water, so you have to cross this one off on your Christmas wish list, at least for now. At number 1, the BD-5 Microjet. Jim Biddy was the first to build a really impressive, lightweight, turbojet-powered aircraft, also known as the BD-5. It was available as a kit in the 1970s, and most would point out that this aircraft was way ahead of its time. Skip a few years forward, and we now have the FLS Microjet, which is basically an updated version of the iconic BD-5. The mini-jet weighs only 400 pounds empty, and it can fly over 320 miles per hour, so it's one of the fastest aircrafts on this list. The Microjet also has a price tag of a supercar, so it's also one of the most affordable jets to own. Unfortunately, Jim Biddy just passed away recently, but his legendary aircraft innovation and engineering will always be remembered. It was an honor to talk about some of the most unique aircraft ever built. So thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like.